Hey, I'm Sarah and welcome to my channel, and I'm the crafter and designer behind Extraordinary Chaos. So what we're doing today is something I've not done before, and I'm going to do a beginner's course on how to use Cricut. So yeah, there's lots out there, lots of tutorials and lots of step-by-steps, but I've been using my Cricut machine for over 8 years, and I've used Design Space through changes and learned to design from the ground up from Cricut Design Space. It's only recently that I've moved away and started designing elsewhere. So I know how it works for me and how I can design files, and I'm going to share that with you. So the first thing is you're going to get access to all of my files. These are all on the website. They're all free to download, and I'm going to show you how to upload files, how to create offsets. So for example, this alphabet here, you just get the top layer, but I'm going to show you how to make ombre letters, how to design, and take you through every stage of learning to be your own designer within Cricut Design Space. But we're going to start from the bottom, because what we sometimes forget as creatives is that, you know, somebody's got a machine and it's new to them and you've never used Design Space. So today we're going to start with the very basics of working your way around Design Space, and every week I'm going to produce and drop a new video and I will show you a new skill. So as you work through, you will become competent and confident in creating your very own files. Any questions and anything you want me to cover, then please do drop a comment below and I will cover that. And it's all about working together and learning how to get the best out of this software without having to pay for extra access and other programs and buying files. You don't need to do that. I'm going to show you how to do it all yourself and how and where to get the free files from. And today we're going to start with the basics. So we're going to work round all some of the actions in Cricut Design Space, and we're going to make a simple flower. And we're going to use that by slicing, welding and using the offset tool. Now, if you've never used Cricut before, they will all be alien terms to you. It may be that you have used Cricut before, but only use these things at a basic level. So we're going to start basic and we're going to build up, and we're going to make all sorts over the next couple of months. So I'm really excited. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to start by looking at the front page of Cricut. So you've got Discover, where you can find projects, Inspire, which is the same. Then you've got My Stuff, so that's anything that you make yourself. So this is all my files and my own designs that I've uploaded to Cutouts, which actually is all I need in Cricut Design Space, and a few design elements that are free, so I don't need to pay for extra. And then you've got Design Space. So this is your actual dashboard. So we've started a new project, and first of all you're going to see the numbers across the top and the side. Now these correspond with your cutting mat, and these are inches. If you click in the corner there, you can change that, so you can make them centimeters or get rid of them altogether. I prefer to work without them. I also, if you can scroll on your, I don't know if you, on your mouse or keyboard, you scroll in, you can just scroll in a bit to make it a bit bigger. So it used to be 12 inches and they've made it wider. So I like to work at 12 inches because that's the size of the mat, so it doesn't make sense to have it bigger. So you can see here on the right, you've got your layers panel and you've got color sync. If we start looking down the left hand side, you can see there you've got the templates. Never use those. Projects, shapes. I use shapes all the time. I'm going to use shapes today. Then you've got ideas. Text. Text is something I use quite a lot. Monograms. Never used. That's you have to pay extra for that, and it's just not something I feel I need. And then you've got your upload button. So we're going to get rid of the text today because we're going to work with shapes. So you're going to click on the left hand shapes bar and you're going to select a circle. So you can see the top ones are all free. And we're going to slice, weld, flatten. I'm going to show you a few basic things. So what we're going to do now is if you click on shapes again, that will get rid of it. So you have to click on it to open it and close it. And we're just going to look at the top bar. So if you see action, you've got cut, basic, wavy, perforation. You've got all different cut things. And then if you right click, you've got actions too. So you've got duplicate, cut, copy and delete. You can also find these actions around the bar as well. So I'm going to duplicate that. Now if you look to the right, you've also got a duplicate button there too. So you've got two options to duplicate. And we're also going to look at how to colour these shapes. And the reason you would colour them is if you're cutting a multi-layered file, I tend to colour each layer. So as I'm cutting out, I can see. I also will get an idea of how that will look when I cut it out. So it's brilliant because you can build up your layers, build up your colours and think, all right, yeah, that colour looks great. So I'm going to use that colour card to cut out my file. But where it's really useful is when you're printing cutting, because actually the colour you choose will be the colour it prints. So I'm going to change this circle. I'm going to scroll down in a minute on the second black circle and I'm going to make it a print and cut image and you will see the difference. So scroll down to the bottom, print and cut, and that changes it from a cut image to a print image. Then I'm going to choose the colour. Now when you look at these two circles, they're different. So you can change the colour still, fine tune it, but that will print out and then cut it, where the first circle will cut only. So you choose the colour card of the first circle. The second colour, the second circle is going to print that way. I visually work with colours all the time, but I also make a lot of print and cut projects. So the colour sync bar on the right hand side is something I use all the time. So when you've got two colours like this, so I've got my black circle and my pink circle, then I'm going to just duplicate that. We're going to go to colour sync in the right hand side and you can see that I've got my pink section and my black section. What you can do is you can actually drag one into the other and that changes colours. Now when you're working with multiple colours, that's brilliant because you can change colours of layers of colours and it's dead useful. No, but that's your colour sync. So just remember that you've got that option in your layers. You've got a few options if you want to select your layers. So first of all, it's to swipe across, right click and select all. That's just like an action with your mouse or on your trackpad. Or if you go to the top, there is a select all button and that will select all of your layers. So if you're needing to grab your layers to move them or for an action, you can do that. Then you've got edit. And edit is the same as, almost the same as when you right click. So you've got like slicing and welding. You've got your arrange tool. Now your arrange tool is really good because it's precision. So when you collect a couple of layers and click, I don't know, align horizontally or align centrally, it will align them precisely. So that's really good for when you're working again, building layers. And then you've got where you can align your layers forward or back. So if you look at this black dot, if I click on the dot, you have to click on one single layer, send to the back, it will send it backwards. Now this is really good when you're slicing and welding, you can send stuff forward or back so you can visually see what you're doing. So that's a really useful tool. And next to that you've got flip horizontally and vertically, but you're not really going to use that on a circle. Offset, now that's a tool that I use all the time and the offset tool is brilliant. So what I've done there is I've created an offset on my circle and you can do that on any shape. It just helps you to make things a bit fatter or a bit chunkier. And then next to them we have got the sticker maker and we've got the wave tool, which I'm going to teach you to do all this yourself, so I'll just show you what that does, but it sort of makes, again on a circle it's harder to do, but on words it would do something different. But yeah, you've got those options. So let's start by making a flower, and what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the black circle, and what that is going to do is, well, we're going to build it up and make a flower with the weld tool. And this is a really clever tool. You've got your slice and your weld tools and your contour tool, and they are going to be the crux of everything you make. They're brilliant tools and features to have. So I'm just going to pop my first circle there, and I'm going to duplicate it. So these are going to be my petals. So we could shape them, but I just want to do it basic and show you the basic things you can do with Cricut Design Space. Top right hand corner and click duplicate. And just keep going until you think you've got enough. And then I'm going to start to arrange them around the edge. And this is going to make my flower. As I say, you could make a more petal shape, you can do all sorts, but just for now, let's just do this. And now I'm going to right click and select all. And I'm going to go to the top bar and duplicate that and put that to one side. I duplicate most things just so that I've got a copy in case something goes wrong. Now I'm going to reselect that, go to the bottom and go to the combine tool, and I'm going to click Weld. Weld is my favourite. So what that has done is it's made it all one layer. Now you can't undo this. The only way you can undo this is by going back. So you can see that if I was to think I've made a mistake, like there I've got a little gap, I'm going to go back. And now I can readjust it. But you can only do this by going back. So you've sort of got to be happy with what your result, and it's not grabbing. There you go. So I've grabbed it all, back to that, click Weld again, and Weld is the one that permanently sticks things together. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the top and click unlock, and you can drag your shape. So this is really good. If it's locked, it means you can make it bigger, smaller, and it won't change. But if you think, oh, my flower needs to be a little bit fatter, or take it up a bit so it's thinner, then you can do that with the unlock tool. So that's really useful. But then do lock it after, because otherwise it can drag your shape out of sync. You can go back and rewind, but that's an option. So now we're going to put a middle in our flower, and what I've done is I've popped one of the dots behind the flower, and I'm going to send the big flower layer to the back so I can see my circle. Now, a great way to do this is to put the circle into the center of it, and then you're going to select those two layers, right click, select, and then you're going to go to align and align it centrally, and then it will be right in the center. Select all again of those two layers. I'm going to duplicate one and put it to one side, and I'm going to click the slice tool. And what the slice tool does is it slices the top out of the bottom. And that's the best tool out of all of the arrange tools and slice tools for cutting out, because it's just really simple to use. Now, if I pop this flower back behind it, and this is when it starts to come into play where you work in layers, I can pop that layer to the back, and then I can right click and align them so they're all central, but I'm going to make that yellow. And then you've got a back layer of yellow of your flower. And I do make lots of layered files, and they do look really, really effective when they're cut out, especially if you put them together with sticky pads. So if I get rid of that pink, you can see the yellow sits behind it. But now to make the file even more different, or just to create another layer to it, we can use the offset tool. So if you click on the offset tool, so I'm going to click on my yellow layer, click on the offset tool, and I'm going to create an offset on the yellow. So that's just giving another layer, and I'm going to colour that slightly darker. And there you go. So now we've got 3 layers. If you look in the sidebar, I'll get rid of those. You've got 3 layers. So you've got your top pink with the hole in the middle, then you've got the yellow, and then I've created an offset of the yellow. Now if I wanted to put a rim around the inside of the pink layer, I could create a tiny offset on that. So that wants to be tiny because that's going to fit in between your back layer and your pink layer. So I click offset on that, colour that, and we'll go for a slightly different shade again. And I just love this colour picker tool because you can just change your colours, and there you go. So let's give it another layer. So you've now got a 4-layered file. I'm going to duplicate that and put one to one side. And I'm going to show you a few tricks of layering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all those, and I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to click group. Now what grouping does is it will keep those layers together but keep the colours separate. So they will cut on separate coloured mats if I choose to keep them as layers. So you can see when I click under my group, I've got a group of layers, which means I can move them about and I'm not going to let any slip. So for example, see, if I don't grab the lot together, then that will happen. Or you can right click and do it like that, but grouping is really easy. So you can see there as I move these out, there are 4 separate layers. So they're exactly the same as the grouped image, it's just that they're not connected in Design Space at the moment. But as I say, as soon as I send them to cut, they will cut on 4 separate mats as 4 separate colours. Both of these will. There's a few other tools I'm going to show you. So I'm going to just central them all back together. And that is the combine tool. So if you go to the bottom, you've got your combine tool. And we've got our flatten tool. So now we've looked at group, I'm going to show you the attach tool. Now, I don't use this, it doesn't really make sense to me. So when you click, select all your layers, so I'll select those and click attach, it makes them all the same colour. So what that's going to do is it's going to attach them in a group and it will cut those 4 layers the same colour on one mat. So I'm going to go back because that's not something I'd use. I'd always go to the top and use the group tool, but it just makes more sense if you're working in multiple colours. If you're working in one colour, then yeah, absolutely. But what I'm also going to show you is flatten. So you can see on the image on the right, again, I've flattened it and there's a difference. It's got softer edges and this will now print as one image. So it's going to print out and then you are going to cut it. So I'll show you now when I send it to cut. We're going to have 2 separate projects, a print and cut project and a cut project. So just choose on mat there. And there you go. So we've got a print and cut flower. So you've actually made a sticker there. And you can duplicate that and make multiple stickers. Or you've got your layered cut image as well. So you've got 2 different options by using the flatten tool. The flatten will always make it printable. And those are the 2 options you've got of making your images. So cut images or printable images. So we're going to do a lot more on this. I'm going to show you how to make stickers and I'm going to show you how to make more layered files, but those are the basics. And if you've got the basics, then you can do so much more in Cricut Design Space. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please do like and subscribe. As I said, drop below any suggestions of topics you want me to cover and things you want me to teach you, and if I know it, we'll do a video on it and create something so that to help you craft along. Please do check out the website. There's lots of these free files, and all of the files, or a lot of the files, especially the newer ones, have got step-by-step tutorials and video tutorials to help you create these effects for that specific alphabet. So there's lots of help and tutorials there for you as well. If there's a project you come across and there isn't a tutorial, then let me know and we'll try and get something sorted. Okay, so please do like and subscribe and happy crafting.